Waking up at 2 or 3 in the morning, night after night, is not just an annoyance. For anyone over 60, it is a profound disruption to your body's most essential repair cycle, and it is a clear warning sign. You might be shocked to learn that the very habit you believe is healthy, that glass of plain water before bed, could be the precise reason this is happening. It seems harmless, but it could be sabotaging your sleep. Here is the problem. After 60, your body's ability to hold water at night naturally declines. Your antidiuretic hormone levels drop. Your bladder becomes more sensitive. That healthy water goes straight through you, pulling you from essential deep sleep. But even worse, plain water is functionally empty. It contains nothing to calm your nervous system, relax your muscles, or provide the key nutrients like magnesium, glycine, or tryptophan that your brain requires to initiate and, more importantly, maintain a state of deep restorative sleep. The problem isn't drinking. The problem is drinking the wrong thing. I am Dr. Alan Mandel. For over 30 years, my entire medical practice has been dedicated to the complex health and physiology of adults navigating their 60s, 70s, and beyond. I am not here to offer you temporary hacks. I am here to explain what is happening inside your body and provide real, sustainable solutions. In this video, I am not going to tell you to stop drinking and risk dehydration. I am going to show you what to drink instead. We will discuss 5 specific smart beverages that can replace plain water. These drinks are designed to work with your body's nighttime physiology, delivering the exact compounds needed to soothe your nerves and help you sleep soundly. And I urge you to stay with me until the end. The number 1 drink we will discuss is the most powerful. It doesn't just help you sleep, it is a tool for active overnight recovery, helping to restore your muscles, support collagen, and leave your body feeling stronger and more refreshed by morning. The difference in how you feel could begin tonight. But before we begin, I am curious to know who I'm speaking with. It helps me to know our community. Please take a moment and leave a comment below letting us know where in the world you are watching from. We do our best to read every single comment. Your engagement and your stories are what make this community a valuable resource. If you find this information helpful, I ask that you like this video and share it with someone you care about who might also be struggling. And if this is your first time visiting our channel, please consider subscribing for more straightforward, no-nonsense health information. Now let's get straight to the issue. Plain water is essential for life, but at night, for an aging body, it presents 2 distinct problems. The first is mechanical. As we move past 60, our bodies naturally produce less of something called antidiuretic hormone, or ADH. This is the hormone that tells your kidneys to slow down water processing at night, to hold on to hydration. With less ADH, that water passes through you much more quickly. Compounding this, the bladder itself becomes less elastic with age. It simply cannot hold as much, and it becomes more irritable, sending the go signal to your brain much earlier, pulling you from deep sleep. The second, and perhaps more important problem, is that plain water is functionally empty. It carries none of the key nutrients your nervous system requires to initiate and maintain sleep. It doesn't provide magnesium to relax your muscles. It doesn't provide glycine to calm your brain. It doesn't provide tryptophan to help manufacture melatonin. It simply fills the bladder, offering no calming benefit in exchange. The goal is not to go to bed dehydrated. The goal is to switch to a smarter drink, a drink that carries these sleep-promoting compounds and, just as importantly, is absorbed in a way that encourages cellular hydration rather than just rapid bladder filling. Let's begin with our first alternative, a gentle and effective choice: warm, unsweetened almond milk. This is an excellent starting point, particularly for the many adults who find, as they age, that their digestion is more sensitive to lactose from traditional dairy. Unsweetened almond milk bypasses this problem entirely. Its benefit is twofold. First, it is a source of tryptophan. Tryptophan is an essential amino acid, meaning your body cannot create it. You must get it from your diet. Inside your brain, tryptophan is the direct precursor to serotonin, the neurotransmitter that creates a sense of well-being and calm. At night, in the absence of daylight, your brain then converts that serotonin into melatonin, the primary hormone of sleep. By providing this raw material, you are supporting your body's natural sleep cycle production. Second, almond milk contains a modest but useful amount of magnesium. I often refer to magnesium as the relaxation mineral. It acts as a physiological brake, a gatekeeper for excitatory neurotransmitters. It helps calm the electrical static in your nervous system and allows your muscles to release tension. A small warm cup, about 120 to 150 milliliters, taken 60 to 90 minutes before you intend to sleep, can be a wonderful, nourishing way to prepare your body for rest. Now, almond milk is excellent for nutritional support, But what if the problem isn't a lack of nutrients, but rather a mind that simply will not shut off? What if you lie down and your brain is flooded with the day's worries or a persistent, low-level anxiety? This is where we turn to our second alternative, a simple cup of chamomile tea. This is not folklore, its mechanism is well understood. The power of chamomile lies in a specific antioxidant compound called apigenin. Apigenin is fascinating because it is able to cross the blood-brain barrier and bind directly to your GABA receptors. GABA is your body's primary inhibitory neurotransmitter. Its entire job is to slow things down, to reduce neuronal excitability, to say, be quiet. When you are stressed or anxious, your brain is in a GABA deficient or overexcited state. Apigenin essentially helps GABA do its job more effectively, producing a mild, non-addictive sedative effect. This is fundamentally different from a prescription sleeping pill, which often forces the brain into an unnatural, amnestic state. Chamomile facilitates your body's own natural process of powering down. This is why it is so effective for those who feel tired but wired. The preparation is simple. Steep 1 tea bag in hot water for 5 to 7 minutes. Allow it to cool to a warm, comfortable temperature and sip it slowly about 45 to 60 minutes before bed. I must insist that you avoid adding any sugar or honey. A spike in blood sugar, however small, can trigger a release of insulin and later a stress hormone response that can wake you up a few hours later, defeating the entire purpose. While calming the mind with chamomile is a critical piece of the puzzle for many, there is another essential system we must address. This system is frequently the hidden culprit behind some of the most frustrating nighttime disruptions. Sudden, painful leg cramps, a restless, creepy, crawly feeling in the legs, or a bladder that feels spastic and irritable. I am talking about your body's electrolyte and mineral balance. Even a slight imbalance can make your nerves hyper-excitable, causing them to fire erratically during the night. This brings us to our third and perhaps most surprising option, lightly warmed, diluted coconut water. Most people associate coconut water with post-exercise recovery or a tropical refreshment. But when used correctly, its unique mineral profile can be a powerful tool for nighttime stability. The secret lies in its natural, balanced concentration of key electrolytes, particularly potassium and magnesium. Let's focus on potassium. Potassium is absolutely essential for regulating nerve signals and muscle contractions. When your potassium levels are insufficient, your nerves can misfire, sending signals for your muscles to contract involuntarily. This is the root of those nighttime cramps. Furthermore, your bladder is, at its core, a smooth muscle. When the nerve signals controlling it are unstable due to an electrolyte imbalance, the bladder can become irritable, contracting, and sending that urgent signal to your brain even when it is not full. By restoring this balance with a small amount of warm coconut water, you can help stabilize both your muscular and nervous systems. However, this alternative comes with very specific doctor's orders. I'm not telling you to drink a large cold carton from the refrigerator. That would be a disaster for your bladder. First, it must be warmed gently on the stove. Cold drinks at night can chill the stomach and act as a diuretic. Second, it must be diluted, ideally in a 1-to-1 ratio with warm water to reduce the overall sugar and fluid load. Third, the dose is small, no more than 100 to 120 milliliters of the final diluted mixture. Fourth, the timing is different. I recommend drinking this earlier than the other options, perhaps just after dinner, or at least 2 hours before you plan to sleep. This gives your body ample time to absorb the minerals without the liquid volume becoming a problem later. And finally, a critical medical warning. If you have any form of kidney disease, renal insufficiency, or are on certain blood pressure medications like ACE inhibitors or potassium-sparing diuretics, you must not try this without clearing it with your primary care physician. For those individuals, potassium levels must be very carefully managed. We have now addressed nutritional support with almond milk, mental calm with chamomile, and mineral balance with coconut water. But we must now discuss the master stress hormone itself, cortisol. Cortisol is not your enemy. It is a vital hormone. It is part of your natural circadian rhythm. Its levels are supposed to be highest in the morning. It's what helps you wake up feeling alert, and lowest at night, allowing you to fall asleep. The problem is that in our modern high-stress world, this rhythm is often broken. For many seniors I see, their cortisol levels do not drop at night. They stay high. This puts your entire body in a constant, low-grade state of fight or flight. You may be lying in a dark, quiet room, but your adrenal glands are telling your brain that it is high noon and a tiger is at the door. Your heart rate stays elevated, your mind races, and you cannot enter deep sleep. This is the very definition of feeling tired but wired. To help gently guide this hormone back into its proper rhythm, we turn to our fourth alternative, golden milk. This is a warm drink centered on turmeric, and it is crucial that it be prepared with a small pinch of black pepper. The active compound in turmeric is curcumin, a powerful anti-inflammatory. By itself, curcumin is very poorly absorbed by the body. However, a compound in black pepper called piperine can increase its absorption by up to 2,000%. The reason this combination is so effective at night is that curcumin has been shown to interact directly with what is called the HPA axis, the hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis. This is the command center for your entire stress response. Curcumin helps to modulate this system, gently reducing the always-on stress signal and helping to lower that inappropriately high nighttime cortisol. As a secondary benefit, its powerful anti-inflammatory properties are working overnight to help ease the joint pain and stiffness that so often plague us and can, by themselves, be another source of sleep disruption. The preparation is a half teaspoon of turmeric powder and a tiny pinch of black pepper, stirred into 150 milliliters of a warm, non-dairy milk, such as the almond milk we've already discussed. Sip it slowly, about 1 hour before bed. This is not a sedative, it is a regulator. It is a warm, comforting drink that helps signal to your body that the danger is over and it is finally safe to rest and repair. We have covered drinks that provide key nutrients, calm a racing mind, balance our electrolytes, and manage the body's primary stress hormone. We now arrive at our final, and in my clinical experience, one of the most comprehensive and effective solutions. This option is powerful because it does not just help you fall asleep. It directly supports your body's process of physical repair while you are asleep. It addresses sleep quality and overnight recovery simultaneously, and it is something most people only associate with joint health. I am talking about our fifth alternative, warm gelatin or a quality low-sodium bone broth. The power of this drink comes from one primary remarkable amino acid, glycine. Your body uses glycine in many ways, but for sleep its role is profound. First, glycine is an inhibitory neurotransmitter, much like GABA, which we discussed with chamomile. It acts on the brain to increase serenity and quiet the noise, helping to reduce the time it takes to fall asleep. But glycine does two other things that are even more critical. First, it has been shown to help lower your core body temperature. This small 1 to 2 degree drop in core temperature is one of the most important physiological triggers your body requires to initiate and maintain deep sleep. If your body stays too warm, you will struggle. Glycine facilitates this cooling process internally. Second, glycine has been shown to increase the amount of time you spend in slow wave or deep sleep. This is not the light, dreaming sleep of REM. This is the physically restorative, dreamless phase of sleep. It is during this slow wave stage that your brain clears out metabolic waste products and your body dedicates its resources to tissue repair. Glycine helps you get more of this high-quality restorative sleep, which is why people often report waking up feeling not just rested, but clearer and more refreshed. And of course, there is the more well-known benefit. Gelatin is simply cooked collagen. By consuming this, you are providing the raw building blocks your body needs. While you are in that glycine-induced deep sleep, your body is actively working to repair muscle, tendons, and cartilage. After 60, our natural collagen production and repair processes are less efficient. Providing these raw materials just before this nighttime repair cycle begins is an incredibly efficient way to support the maintenance of your joints, skin, and muscle tissue. The application is very simple. Dissolve 1 teaspoon of a quality, unflavored, grass-fed gelatin powder into about 120 milliliters, a small amount, of warm, not boiling water. Stir it until it is fully dissolved. Sip it slowly, about 30 to 45 minutes before you get into bed. If you prefer, a small warm cup of low-sodium bone broth, which is also rich in glycine and collagen, works just as well. Now, having shared these 5 options, I must be very clear. This is the most important part of our discussion. Simply drinking one of these is not enough. How you drink them is what separates success from failure. I have had many patients tell me, Dr. Alan Mendel, I tried the chamomile and I was still up twice. The problem was not the chamomile, it was the protocol. So I'm going to give you the precise rules that I give to my patients. First, volume. We are not replacing a meal or drinking a full mug of tea. The amount for all of these drinks must be small, 100 to 150 milliliters at most. That is about 4 to 5 ounces, or half a small teacup. Any more than this, and you are simply overloading the bladder, which is the very problem we are trying to solve. Second, timing. This is non-negotiable. You must consume your chosen drink 60 to 90 minutes before your head hits the pillow. Do not drink it in bed. This window of time is critical. It gives your body time to absorb the active nutrients and begin processing the liquid, and it allows you to perform the next essential step. Third, bladder management. After you have finished your drink, go about your evening ritual. Brush your teeth, prepare for bed. Then, just before you physically get into bed, you must go to the bathroom one final time, even if you do not feel a strong urge. You want to start the night with a completely empty bladder. Fourth, prioritize the type of drink. The gelatin, the golden milk, and the almond milk are thicker and more nutrient dense. They are absorbed differently, and the hydration they provide tends to be held within your tissues, what we call cellular hydration, rather than being immediately processed and flushed by the kidneys. Teas and coconut water are more diuretic, which is why I often suggest them earlier in the evening. Fifth, you must sip slowly. Do not gulp the drink down in 30 seconds. Sip it over the course of 10 to 15 minutes. Gulping a large volume of liquid, even a small one, can trigger a shock response in the kidneys, telling them to expel the excess. Sipping allows for gradual, gentle absorption. And finally, be methodical. Be your own scientist. Do not try all of these in 1 week. Pick the one that sounds most appropriate for your specific issue. For example, chamomile if your mind races, or gelatin if you feel achy. Try it, following all these rules for 3 to 5 consecutive nights. Pay attention. How did you feel? Did you sleep through the night? How did you feel upon waking? If it's not the right fit, take a night off and then try the next one. Your physiology is unique. You do not have to accept waking up at 2 a.m. as an inevitable consequence of getting older. It is not. It is a signal from your body that it is out of balance, that it needs a different kind of support. You now have the knowledge